Kind of a scary start to the day today. Everything was down pre-market. If you guys were watching that, I know NIO started in the market about 7% down, but luckily we quickly recovered from that, dropping all the way down to $42.73 this morning. But now we're finally starting to push back up towards 46 mark. Right now we're sitting at about 45.5 dollars, but it's only 2:30 here on the East Coast, so we still got about an hour and a half or so before the market closes. But we got a little bit of good news coming out of NIO. Quite a bit actually came out the last couple of days. We're trying to keep up with that, with live streams and talking about that. But so without wasting much more time, hit that sub button. It's Best Way Sports channel. We're trying to hit 6,000 by the end of this month. We're almost there too. I think we're only like 600 short, 800 short, something like that. So that's the Best Way Sports channel. Hit that button. But without further ado, man, let's give it some razzle dazzle and hop into it. So first thing, we'll talk about the market, what's going on. We got a lot of questions about that, especially with in the live streams. So really, it's just a bunch of freaking fear mongering. It seems to be going on between the market crash, the war between China and Taiwan. I've heard rumors of delisting fears. Just everything all at once. Literally,
market crash fears.
Right.
I think the main thing is Tokyo or Japan doing a state of emergency because of COVID variants.
Right.
I think that's the main thing that's causing this. But yeah, there's a lot of hot garbage out there.
Right. So just kind of keep an eye on that. It's just a bunch of I feel like we're talking ourselves into a crash, and hopefully we stop because it's nonsense. We don't need it. The more that it keeps getting talked about, the more it shows up, the more people are going to believe it, the more people are going to sell based on what they see. So fingers crossed. Let's hope that doesn't happen. But the news coming out of NIO is two things. One thing, there's an article about them hiring for Germany, so that's good news. And there's also reports of them launching their 301st battery swap station this month in July. So we'll talk about that right now. So going off of that, they launched their 301st battery swap station in a city in Japan or in China, and I'm not even going to try to announce it because I'm going to be terrible. They said it's the first one of the month though, so don't know what's going on there. A little slow on their end because at the end of the month of June, in one day they opened 11 battery swap stations, which brought them to the 300th number, and we are 8 days into July, and this is the first one coming out in July. So they did end June really strong with battery swap stations, coming out there crushing it, 20 of them in 2 or 3 days. So quite a bit.
It was
coming
11. They did 11 in one day. It was insane. So
that was quite a bit for one day. Right. Yeah. So I'm kind of hoping that they kind of keep the pace up because they're only 200 away from their goal. William Li wanted 500 by the end of the year. I can see them getting that. It's just a matter of them probably just dealing with shipping things over to Europe and dealing with more places to put the swap stations and stuff like that. Yep. So I'm expecting more of that to come out. But at this swap station, they said that this has 20 charging piles as well, with 30 to 60 watts of power, and parking at the station is free. But the other good news coming out of NIO as well is the fact that they're hiring for a place in Germany, for a manager in Germany to look over that.
Yeah, so they're hiring a general manager in Germany. There was a job posting 5 days ago. And so, that is, people are wondering, is that NIO's next stop after, Norway? Are they getting into Germany? So in the 5 days, there's already been over 173 applicants. So yeah, a lot of people want that job.
Right.
I mean, I see that as a good thing because a lot of people, they like the NIO company. They see that it's growing. Obviously, kind of as a smaller company, it's kind of a little bit scarier. But, if you see it growing really well, then, if you get in early, you're setting up yourself for great success. But NIO says the position is key to developing its organization and business, and the company relies heavily on the candidate's current expertise and knowledge to ensure its success. So I'm assuming obviously you would have to have a good amount of knowledge, like local knowledge about what people want, how things are kind of set up and dealt with over there, because every country's kind of does things differently, But they also said, this is a quote from the job. It says, NIO is extremely user-centric since its users are the only thing that makes us successful and motivates us to invent new products. So that's pretty cool, to hear them say that. But as we know, they really rely on their users heavily for a lot of things, even like picking where NIO Day is going to be at. So they like getting the community involved and stuff, which I think only furthers the NIO brand itself.
Yeah.
But so on May 6th, the day the company officially announced its entry into the Norwegian market, a German magazine, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, they quoted William Li, NIO's founder, obviously the CEO, as saying that the company plans to start selling its electric cars in Germany in 2022. So are they, they're trying to, set up a branch over there in Germany right now and then, get over there in 2022? Or are they kind of ahead of schedule and going to get in, late 2021, which would, be fantastic.
Right. Which, I'm thinking that they're definitely going to expand. And I think that throughout 2022 is going to be the year for Europe and NIO. I'm sure they'll enter more Norwegian cities, and they're going to talk about, entering into other countries. So I definitely think they're definitely going to hit 2022 hard with expansion in Europe. And I think that's going to be a good thing. And I'm kind of hoping 2022, 2023, we get some kind of announcement about possibly entering into the United States. Finally get some of those ET7s over here, man.
I'm sure we'll... Right, yeah, the ET7's amazing. But I'm sure at least by next year, sometime next year, we'll get at least some idea of when they'll be coming in the States.
Right.
If they're not coming next year, we'll know by when they're going to be
right
in the States.
Right.
So
exactly. So let's talk a little bit about the stock, show you guys what it's doing for the day, and you guys will see exactly why everyone was panicking this morning. So looking at the stock, we can see that it did start off really, really rough. I mean, we started out like $46 and it dropped all the way down to $42.73, which is what we talked about earlier in the video. Yeah. And then it actually had this nice run up all the way back up to like $45.50. And then it's kind of just been chilling, trading sideways a little bit, sitting around $45.73 as of this time of the recording. We did break positivity today. We did go positive, but it quickly pulled back. And then it's been hanging around this about down, 0.75% on the day. And again, this all comes in wake of all the drama. I don't want to say drama, but like all the news and fear and garbage going on in the media, possible inflation fears and stuff like that. I don't think it really has anything to do with China and the U.S. itself. But I'm kind of hoping that with NIO Power Day being tomorrow, that it brings some positivity to the stock. We see this start to push back up. Like you said, Chad, that you wanted to see it sit around 50 by the end of the day, or by the end of this week and hold above 50. It'd be fantastic. But at this point, I'm kind of hoping we just get above 46, 47, somewhere in there.
Right.
So,
yep, I agree.
The RSI is starting to come back as well. So,
right, which is good. The RSI on everything was pretty high, so and it needed to calm down, but I just obviously not this much. But I see NIO Power Day bringing, depending on what they announce, I could see it going up. I don't really see it going up in like anticipation of the Power Day, but if they release some awesome stuff at Power Day, then I could see it going up some because of that. But it's just not super hyped, so Yeah, I don't see a lot of movement before Power Day.
Right. I think we'll get some kind of announcements and stuff during the NIO Power Day, and that might help bring it go green, but I don't think we're going to see an 8 to 10% run like we have in the last coming weeks. So
it really just depends tomorrow too. If more stuff comes out overnight, they're pushing more fear about all the COVID variants, or if the worst happens and more countries or more states, cities start doing lockdowns again because of the COVID variants, then that's not going to be good at all.
What gives me hope for NIO tomorrow is the fact that we've had massive pullbacks the last coming days, and then that we finally I feel like we hit the bottom of that pullback, and now we're starting to go back up. We're in the 45s. I think we're going to start to see a reversal and start to go back up. The RSI for the year to date is about 50, which is where you want to see it. And then that we did drop down that low and it pulled itself back up. That there's still people willing to buy. But so I'm thinking it's going to go back up.
Look over to the left though, because this happened. Well, I don't know what just happened, but you right there. Pretty much after the peak, it did like a V, and then it bounced back up, and it looked like we were starting to go back up, but then it just sold off again.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Hopefully, we do see it. I would love to see 48 tomorrow, but it could,
I'm talking.
As long as it stays above 45, that's all I need.
I'm looking at like July 2nd. where it dipped and then it's kind of doing the same thing, started going back up, but then we just crashed back down.
Yeah.
Again. It's looking like the same exact thing that happened there. So we'll see. It might be the bottom. It might not. Depends on what they talk about more. If they're just pushing more fear, then it's going to continue going down. But hopefully this is the end of it. What gives me hope, though, is that everyone didn't panic sell right at open, even though everything was down like 5, 6, 7, 8% pre-market. Everyone kind of looked like was just watching and seeing what was going to happen. So if the panic was really here, everyone would have just sold and this thing would be negative 10% right now. So it does give me hope that maybe this is, the bottom because everyone didn't just panic sell. So we'll have
Fingers
to wait
crossed.
and see. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. But that's going to wrap up this NIO update. We hope you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, you know what to do. We say it in every video. Hit that sub button. We're trying to go to 6,000 subs by the end of this month. We're only like 800 off, so you guys know what to do and help us out. But we also got links in the description down there. One for the Patreon that gets you access to the Discord. We got one down there for the Stock Dudes merchandise, and we got one down there for Webull. If you guys are interested in signing up for that, it gets you guys one free stock just for signing up. And then if you deposit $5, you guys get a stock value from $8 all the way up to $2,000. So who doesn't like free money there? So if you're interested in any of that, it is all down below. No pressure. It's up to you guys. But again, thank you guys so much for all your support, and we'll see you guys in the next video.